Am I on? I think I am. Oh, is everyone keeping nice and warm? I sound like an old lady. If you're in Australia, I bet you're warm. I bet if you're in Australia, I expect you're asleep. Hello. Lovely to see you. So today I'm going to be talking about time, which is a construct, by the way. It doesn't even exist. Anyway, how is it that we waste so much time? I'm going to give you some like easy tricks and things that I've used my whole entire life just to try and survive it. And one of the things, I've lost the thing that I put on there, so I don't actually know what I'm meant to be talking about. Hang on a minute. Bear with. No, it's not going to do it for me. Anyway, I can do it with these scrappy pieces of notes. So the one mistake we all make, I believe, is the first thing. One mistake we all make when it comes to time is giving away control of our time to other people. And I have done this a lot during my life, and I think we just do, don't we? So if you're working for an organisation, that can happen to you because everybody needs stuff doing. So you tend to kind of, your inbox becomes other people's to-do list, essentially, and you're just constantly kind of juggling other people's stuff. But equally, if you run your own business, it can happen like that too. So like you're sort of constantly serving others with your time, and it doesn't actually have to be like that. So you can, of course, still serve others, but without them sort of dictating how you spend your time. So don't give control of your time to other people as best you can. And I'm going to try and show you how at least I do that. I don't know if it's an expert view, but it's certainly what I do. And I've got some easy tricks that I use. So one of those is really managing distractions. So turning off all of your notifications, because you don't need them. You can go and seek those things when you need them. So turn off all notifications. So things like if you're working on a piece of work and you've got an email pinging in, it's going to distract you. It is going to be something that you go and look at, particularly when you get the first line of the email coming in, and it certainly distracts me because I think, oh, I need to go and answer that or look at it. So turn off all distractions. So emails, your sort of notifications for social media, everything, turn it all off. The only thing that I allow on mine is my calendar, which pings up, you need to be in a meeting in 5 minutes, because I that really helps me, because I can get very lost and hyper focused into what I'm doing. So those are really important to do. Turn off notifications. The other thing that I used to do when I was working in my own organisation that was very, very busy was to block out time in the day I would just say no meetings. So making sure that no one else sort of books you out for meetings, and also that you respect that time for yourself. A meeting with yourself. I am meeting Laura for Monday morning. If you really need to, you can make up somebody like Mrs. Smith or I don't know. I'm just making up names. Email checking. So if you can, this comes from Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Week book, which I read and just completely changed the way that I did my emails. So this is how it used to be with my emails. My emails will come in, usually notifications on, so ping, in comes, that's interesting, I'll go and do that. So then in I go, and I'm squirreling away, writing an email, reply to that email, and then another email comes in, or maybe I've got a full inbox now, so I'm looking at my inbox, and then before you know it, you're doing stuff, and then everything that you do requires something else. It's not as easy, is it, as just writing an email and sending it, but actually, I need to find that piece of information which is somewhere in a notebook or something. And before you know it, you are serving everybody else with these emails, and you're not actually doing your work. Well, that's what I used to find anyway. So checking your emails twice a day. So Tim Ferriss recommends checking them at 11. Never, ever, ever check your emails first thing in the morning, because then you're giving away control again to other people. So you check your emails at 11 a.m., not before. and then you check them at 3 p.m. Now, what I do is I check my emails, and I have three files in my email. So I've got action, waiting, and read. Okay, so therefore, when I check my emails, I can get my my mail list down to 0 by putting them in the right file. So if it needs actioning, but it's going to take me a bit of time because I've got to go and find something in my notebook, I will put it in the action folder. If it is something that I can fire off now, but I'm going to send it to someone else, I'm going to say, dear Mary, could you please off I send it, and then I stick it in waiting. So I know that I'm actually waiting for Mary's response before I can do the next action. So that goes in waiting, nicely filed away and tidily. And then anything that comes in that's like, ooh, I really want to read that, but I haven't got time to do it now, put it in reading. And then you can find some time in your day to do your reading. And maybe you do it in the evening, I don't know, but that's what we do. So stick everything in those 3 files, and then we can get our inbox down to 0. Now, if you've got something in your email inbox that you can do right now, and it's only going to take you 2 minutes, like literally someone's just asked you a question, you're like, I know the answer to that, I'm just going to answer it, then you can clear that one off and send it. But other than that, it goes into action. So that is how I do my emails, 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So 11 o'clock I go into my emails, 3 o'clock I go into my emails, and then you can also do you can also sort of give yourself an hour or half an hour, however long. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, how we know how long things are, to actually do those action emails. Okay, so you're not just filing them away into action and then you just go about your day and like, woohoo, I've got 0 emails, because you've got some actions to do. So you need to block those out in your calendar. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm going to do some do's and some don'ts. So one of the do's that I thought would be really important is to do a time audit. Now, this is something I do with my clients on my Juggling Happy program, and it's always a real sort of woohoo moment, because you think you're extraordinarily busy and you're doing loads of stuff, and then actually when you do a proper time audit, and I use something called Toggl, Toggl, if you use Toggl, you can actually categorize all of the work that you're doing into different categories, and you can see it for what it is. So you can see exactly what you're doing during the day, and you can also see where you can shave off a huge amount of time because it's not required. But you need to do the time audit to see it, because we think we're doing some things and the time audit shows you proper data about how you're actually spending your time. So do a time audit. Don't procrastinate. That's really easy to say, isn't it? It's really impossible for some people not to procrastinate. I'm one of those people. But here's what I've learned about me and my brain. Okay, so I will procrastinate. So I know that this is the case, and I know this better now than ever before, that if I've got something that needs to be done by Friday, so today is a really good example. Here I am doing this live on time. Okay, now I knew that I was doing this on Monday because that's when I plan what I'm going to do for my live. There is no chance in hell that if I put in my calendar for Monday to write what I'm going to say today on Friday, that it's going to get done. So if I put that in my calendar, that's going to be, I don't know, what would I give myself? An hour to write that, half an hour? Then I would procrastinate during that hour or that half an hour and nothing would get done. So there's no point. I have learned that it's better for me to put that piece of work directly before I go live. Now, there's a lot of risk in that. Some people won't like that at all, because I could get sick, my child might need picking up from school, and I wouldn't be able to do the live. Now I can manage that risk because it's my business, so if I didn't turn up for the live, it wouldn't be too terrible. If, for example, it was for a talk, and I'm doing a talk, is it next week? I don't know, 21st of February. So I know that I've got to write that talk. I can't write it this week because I'll procrastinate my way through it because the deadline isn't close enough for me to do it. So I know that the best time, optimal time, is not the morning of that talk, because I do know in my head that something could go wrong and I'm going to let other people down then, because it's not just my business, is it? they're expecting me to turn up to do this talk. So for me, my safe time with enough with enough feeling of, oh, I'm really close to the deadline, but not enough to make me like a rabbit in the headlights, is probably to do that the morning before that day. So other people, I know that you'll be looking at that and going, oh my God, that's so risky because there's all these things. Well, that means that your brain just works slightly differently, and that's okay too. You will know where your windows are, where you need to get stuff done. For some people, it might be 2 months before. Make it work for you. That's what I'm saying. So that's how I personally sort of really work with this sort of procrastination, is to kind of like, there's no point me sitting here procrastinating over this for 2 hours, because I know in my mind that I won't get that done. So I'm just going to move it over there. There are some days where I spend a whole day procrastinating, and those are my bad days. I can't do much about that. So if I am procrastinating, if you're procrastinating, move away, change state, go outside, do something different, have a conversation with somebody, take yourself out of that place where you're procrastinating over something and move yourself away. That's how I manage procrastination. And just get started. The other thing I do, and it hurts me, but I do it, which is, okay, I'm going to do this task. And I put my Pomodoro on for 25 minutes and I just get my head down and I get that stuff done. And physically, I can feel myself going, I don't want to do it, but I do it. And then once I've done 25 minutes of that task, I've started to make my way forward. So when the tasks feel big, I procrastinate. So break them down into small chunks and then do them, do the chunk. Don't multitask ever. We think we can multitask as human beings, but we can't. We're bloody crap at it. We can't do 3 things at once, 2 things at once. You know, I know most women will say, yeah, we can multitask. We can't really. Yes, we can do lots of things at the same time, but each time that we're tuning out of one thing, we're tuning into the other thing, and we're tuning out of the thing that we're doing. So you're only actually doing one thing at a time. It's just you've got lots of things going on. And when that comes to pushing out a piece of work, you have to just do one thing at a time. And again, I know I'm a bit evangelical about my bloody Apple, but it works. 25 minutes. Do the thing, the priority thing. And then you can move on to something else. Particularly if this thing is boring you can move over to something else and then you can come back to it. So you've always got only 25 minutes. Everyone can do 25 minutes, even me. So don't multitask. Do take breaks. So breaks after breaks after breaks. Make sure that you have them. And I talk with my clients about lifters. Okay, so one of my elements in my method is elevate. And elevate is about doing something that lifts your mood, that lifts your energy, that lifts your vibration. And we all know what that is for us. Right? So I've got some really specific things. I've got little mini lifters. Those are things that you can do for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. So I was working with a client this morning who's decided that her lifters, her mini lifters for the next following week is to play the guitar. That's one of mine as well. Play the guitar for 5 minutes. We always find 5 minutes to just change state and do something different. 5 minutes of guitar. I can't remember, of course, because I've got a bloody crap memory. What else was she going to do? Do a jigsaw puzzle was one of the things that she was going to do, and drinking water. Drink. I'll always put that in. It's got nothing to do with time, but just drink. It's very important. Off she goes on a tangent. Finally, don't underestimate. Do this all the time. Not so much now because of my bloody Apple. There she goes again. But not knowing how long things take means that we overestimate what we can achieve. Now, I used to get help from my co-founder when I was running Memory Matters, Kate, and I used to say to her, like, because I would say, oh yeah, I can do. Let's do that. Let's create this whole new course. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, very exciting. Okay, I'm going to write that on Monday, and she'd go, might take a bit longer than Monday. And I'd be like, nah, I can do that on Monday. Easy. I can do it on Monday. She'd be like, yeah, maybe take 2 days, double it. Take 2 days. And sure enough, she'd always be right. And I've learned over time that actually if we time it, if we're like, okay, so for example, I'm going to write a course, or I'm going to do a report, or whatever it is that you need to get going, to do your 25 minutes. Each time you do that, you get more and more realistic about what actually can be achieved in 25 minutes. Because if you're anything like me, I totally overestimated for years what I could do in 25 minutes. There are some things, super things I can do super fast in 25 minutes. I know that now. I know what those things are, but there are also other things that are a bit more complicated. Yeah. And if ever you want some support doing the old Pomodoros, I am doing on a Wednesday morning from 8:30 until 10:30. We did one this week. I'm going to do one again next week, is where you come along. Basically, it's in a Zoom room. We start to talk about what we want to get done, or you don't even have to talk about it. You just come with a list of the things you want to get done. We have a quick chat, and then we start 25 minutes. Everyone goes on mute. We do the work for 25 minutes. Then we have a little chat for 5 minutes, a little sip of water, of course, or a drink, a cup of tea. And then off we go again for 25 minutes. And I have to say that I got shed loads done on Wednesday morning. So it's no biggie for me to hold this Zoom room. I'm just going to do it anyway. So I will put that in as an event. So look out for that. Yeah. So, okay. So basically that is it. So do not give away control of time to others. It's your time. Don't be responding constantly to everyone else's needs, but actually work out what you want to do at the beginning of the day, what you want to get done, what are your main objectives for the day, and then stay focused, if you can, on getting that one thing, two things, or three things done, no more than that. And anything else that anyone's asking you to do is a bit too much, maybe, and maybe we need to vocalize that and say, I can't do it because actually I know how much I can get done in 25 minutes, and I only have so many 25 minutes in the day, and I need to have lunch and go for a wee. So there we go. So that is how to master your time. Just to also let you know that I am doing a challenge the week after next called Frazzled to Fantastic, and if you would like to come along and do it, it's a totally different Facebook group to this one, so it's got its own Frazzled to Fantastic Facebook group, and if you want to, just put F2F in the comments, F2F, or Frazzled to Fantastic if you want to type it all out, but that would take a lot of time and you're saving time. So F2F in the comments. Also, if you were watching this as a replay, and I should have said at the beginning, could you please put hashtag replay? If you're watching it live, put hashtag live, and that helps me know who's watching, or not necessarily who, but how many people are watching. Yay! I think that's it, and then have an amazing weekend. Ta-ta! I was trying to stop it on my computer and it's on my phone. Bye!